Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Presiding Officer, I wanted to speak in this debate today. The fact that this debate still needs to happen indicates that although progress has been made, there's still a long way to go. Now, a couple of years ago at the SNP conference, one of my colleagues, Martha Campbell-Sturgis, and I, we co-authored and successfully got the issue of sex for rent onto the conference agenda. Now, that resolution was passed with an amendment from Ruth Maguire MSP and also Ash Denham MSP. The practice of advertising free rent with strings attached is just appalling, but sadly, the internet makes this type of activity more prevalent. Another aspect of where the net makes things more challenging for women will be in the area of pornography, and some colleagues have already touched upon that. This has been spoken about many times before, outside of this chamber, also in society, but about how young people access it, and also young girls and boys, and how they might consider what relationships are actually all about. Now, I know this was an issue that the UK Government were being pressured into acting upon because communications are still reserved to Westminster, but the net is a wonderful tool when used wisely, but it can also be used in that more sinister fashion. And this isn't news to any of us, but it's important that we can all show leadership to try to help present and make things better for future generations. As a father of two young girls, I do have a concern about some of the negative aspects of what the internet can do and how it will influence others and their subsequent actions against women and girls. Presiding Officer, I welcome the Scottish Government's Equally Safe strategy and the resources that have been invested in it. And this year alone, with COVID-19 in society and more women and girls spending more time at home, will clearly bring additional challenges for them, particularly for women and girls who live in households with an abusive husband, father or partner. Now, I commend the main aims of the strategy being that focusing on advancing gender equality and tackling the underlying attitudes that create the societal conditions for gender-based violence to flourish. I also welcome the work the Scottish Government is undertaking with stakeholders to raise awareness of all forms of gender-based violence at a community and also an institutional level. I particularly welcome the aim of the Scottish Government to want every child and young person in Scotland to develop mutually respectful, responsible and also confident relationships with other children, young people and adults. Many activities are required to fully deliver this, and the example that I provided a moment ago will play a part in helping address some of this particular issue. Colleagues have already touched upon the United Nations International Day for the Elimination of Violence against Women being yesterday. And I note the theme for this year's 16 Days of Activism is Orange the World, Fund, Respond, Prevent, Collect, with a focus on COVID-19 response, recovery and renewal. The UN states why we must eliminate violence against women and girls. And I quote, "Violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread, persistent and devastating human rights violations in our world today. It remains largely unreported due to the impunity, silence, stigma and shame surrounding it." In order to make the changes that society needs, it's incumbent upon all of us to both question ourselves but also others about their actions. And this is why I'm pleased that the Scottish Government is actually supporting the two amendments in the Business Bulletin. This isn't a party political issue. And this year has challenged everyone. And as I said a few months ago, with more women and girls being at home and also being the victims of domestic abuse, it's crucial that that safe place, such as the special alert system in pharmacies, can be utilised to help those women and children who need it. We don't know what's ahead of us, but as a Parliament and as a society, we can actually help shape the future to make things better for women and girls. Thank you.
Thank you very much.